I have 10 genius uses for freezer bags that you probably never thought of before. Freezer bags are amazing. They are thicker, they seal out moisture, they keep moisture in when needed. I'm also gonna show you some really great organization tricks when it comes to freezer bags. You're never gonna look at a freezer bag the same way after watching this video. Let's do it. And number 10, my friend, your jaw might drop and be like, oh my word, I cannot believe she just did that. No more buying expensive, fancy ice packs at the store when you can make your very own DIY with a freezer bag. And you can make it as large as you want, as small as you want, depending upon your cooler space. Fill your bag with the desired amount of water and then be sure to get out as much air as humanly possible. I can make a big giant ice block using a freezer bag. I don't have to have ice cubes floating all around and then they melt and then you get moisture all over all your items, and then if there's labels on it, the labels fall off. It just becomes a sticky, yucky, wet, ooey gooey mess, but not when you use a freezer bag. And in fact, you only need to use one rather than like 5 ice packs to keep everything cool. Here's another little trick when it comes to your freezer bags. You can actually reuse these, yes, saving the environment. So I like to wash them and then dry them. I just take a cup and a bowl and I place that freezer bag over top. That way air can flow in and around and dry it out much faster. Number 2, keep those buns fresher. The buns that you eat, by the way. If you've ever noticed the bags that your beloved buns and breads come in, they let a lot of air in, causing them to get moldy faster and they get hard and they're not as good. So here's a little trick to keep them fresher for longer. I do like to put my bread in the refrigerator. Let me know if you do that in that comments box below. And I don't like freezing my buns or my bread because I find when I thaw them out, they're just not as soft as if you went to the store and then you purchased it fresh. So this is a way to keep your fresh bread and buns better for longer too. But not anymore. Just use a freezer bag to put your buns and your rolls and your bagels inside so that way they stay fresher for longer. It locks out that air which causes them to mold and dry faster. Mwah! Fresh buns. Have you ever heard of those sweet Hawaiian rolls? I love them. It's like butter and gooey goodness in your mouth, but again, we do not go through them fast enough. So I love this little trick to ensure that they stay fresher for longer. I love this trick especially with the sweet Hawaiian rolls because they are oh so tasty and I do not want any of them going to waste. In my experience, when you store your bread in the refrigerator and you double bag it with a freezer bag, this quadruples the life of your bread, which saves you money in the long run. Number 3, those sauces. We often do not tend to use an entire jar of marinara or Alfredo sauce in one sitting, and they tend to collect mold within about a week if you don't use them up. So here's a little trick using freezer bags. Now you certainly could store your entire jar inside of your freezer with the marinara sauce in there. However, it takes up an unnecessary amount of space, and you know I'm all about space saving and organization. So put your marinara sauce inside of your freezer bag, lay it as flat as humanly possible, and then I'd like to take just a little straw along the side, suck out any remaining air, and you are good to go. The next time you want to use your marinara sauce, you can thaw it in your refrigerator a couple hours ahead of time, or you can just put it in a bowl of warm water. Number 4, anytime you can DIY certain foods, you're gonna save more money than if you bought these little individual compartments of goldfish crackers. Super convenient, by the way. But if you can get the big box and then divvy it out in individual bags, you're gonna save yourself a ton of money. But how about with trail mix? Love me some trail mix. You have nuts, you have sunflower seeds, you have chocolatey goodness, you have raisins, so it's like a fruit, so you feel healthy eating it all at the same time. But my friend, that trail mix can get very pricey and spendy. In fact, like just a little bag, $13 for this little container right here. Highway robbery. So here's a great way to make your own trail mix however you want to. Maybe you don't like those sunflower seeds in there. You don't have to put them in there. And you can put as much of something or as little of something that you want to. This is an excellent idea if you're going to a party and you want to bring something snacky as well, because who doesn't love trail mix? And because it's inside of this freezer bag, it's gonna stay fresher for longer. So I like some pretzels, some raisins, some honey roasted peanuts, and of course some chocolate. Mix everything together in that bag. You can put it in your car so that if you get hangry or a snack attack, oh gosh, I'm so hungry. What time is it? Oh, it's not quite dinner time. The drive-thru trying to order something. because you're so dang hungry. You're like, oh, I have trail mix. Oh, this might be even better. I don't know. Salty, crunchy. Yes. Saving money in my waistline, one trail mix bag at a time. So many bonuses to this one. Not only can you mix trail mix inside of a freezer bag, you can mix so many other different things. So maybe you wanted to make an omelet, you could put all the veggies in there, the eggs in there, the onions, your spices, salt and pepper, garlic. The possibilities are endless. Number 5, marinating that meat. If you have never tried the Olive Garden Italian dressing, I highly recommend it. Not only is it great on salad, but I think I love it more for marinating meat, particularly chicken. Just grab your freezer bag, put your chicken inside. Like literally, this is the easiest meal you could ever make, and it's super healthy. Drop that chicken in there. I let it marinate overnight. You could do it for a couple of hours. You could do it for a couple of days, and you have yourself a very tasty chicken sandwich. And you don't need anything else on that chicken sandwich because it is so flavorful. I do like a little butter lettuce. And remember those buns that I talked about? I've had these buns for over 2 weeks and they're still fresh. These freezer bags can also double as a glove. You're trying to grab your meat from the packaging. I love that. And by the way, this white mixing bowl, I use it for almost everything. Pretty much every single day. I got it from the $1.25 store. Thank you, Dollar Tree. Number 6, storing items and keeping them fresher for longer, and also ensuring that you do not overbuy when the seasons change. Let me show you. Now is the time to start packing up that summer stuff. So in these freezer bags, you could designate one for your sunscreen, one for goggles, one for inflatables and blow up related things. You could even label the outside of it if you wanted to. You can see here I have all my summer stuff scattered in this bin here, but I thought, you know what, I can use this space a little bit better and organize a little bit more. This is also an excellent time to start decluttering. So that way, when you pull out your summer stuff next summer, you already know these items are things that you are going to use. And fun fact, you may be able to relate to this one. I tend to overbuy sunscreen, but if I have it nice and organized and in this container, I can clearly see, yes, I have 15 bottles of sunscreen. I think we're good. We do not need to buy another one, unless of course it's expired. Also, if you're traveling, this is sort of a bonus item. I like to put all of my toiletries inside of a freezer bag and then just throw it in my suitcase. That way, if anything were to explode in an airplane or open up because of the pressure, well, it's contained inside that freezer bag, which is thicker, keeps out moisture, but also keeps it inside. So this also works when it comes to storing your winter items. You can see here I have 4 large bins filled with winter things: hats, scarves, mittens, face masks. But let's organize it a little bit better. So you can roll your hats up, put them inside the freezer bag. You could designate it by person. You could designate it by type of hat if you wanted to. But because I use these freezer bags, I was able to free up an entire bin. Yes, an entire bin. This is a big deal anytime we can save space with 6 people in this family. This is another thing we tend to overbuy: mittens and gloves, but not anymore, my friend, because all I need to do is pull out that bag and I can clearly see that Natalie has 5 pairs of mittens for this upcoming winter. Number 7, did you know that if you put your cell phone in a freezer bag, you can still access your cell phone and use it? Yes, but you're protecting your phone. If you're baking, you're not getting all the cookie dough inside trying to read a recipe on your phone and it's all sticky and gross and disgusting. You can also use this at the beach so you don't have sunscreen on your cell phone or sand stuck in the little cracks and grooves. You could also use this when you're camping, or if you're like me, I am a daily at-night popcorn eater, but I'm also on my phone like perusing, looking at different things. So no longer will my cell phone look like the bottom of a popcorn bin once I'm done eating. I know, it's disgusting, but it's real life. Number 8, prevent freezer burn. Chances are you've seen people put meat inside of freezer bags to keep it fresher for longer. I know that we do that and you probably do it as well, but have you ever thought about putting your ice cream inside of freezer bags? Not only will your ice cream last longer and be less prone to getting freezer burn, which is disgusting. No one wants their ice cream tasting like that. But here's a super simple trick to keep your freezer more organized. You can put actual pints of ice cream inside of these freezer bags. You can also put put larger portions of ice cream in, but it works great for popsicles and little fudge bars and dreamsicles. So put them inside of the freezer bag, and then I just cut off a label on the packaging. So that way when you look at your freezer bag, you know exactly, oh, this is a bag of dreamsicles, or oh, this is a bag of bomb pops, and this is a bag of fudgesicles. Now when my kids open the freezer, all they have to look at the picture and they know exactly what's inside. Everything is nice and contained. Nothing is loose and rolling around the freezer. There's no more disgusting boxes and cardboard taking up space. I absolutely love this. You can see in my freezer, I was able to fit 3 filled freezer bags with tasty freezer treats inside of this little drawer, rather than having all these boxes, which I wouldn't have been able to fit in my indoor freezer. Number 9, this is one you're gonna wanna have in your back pocket, because when it rains, it pours. That was a terrible joke, but you get the point. In your vehicle, most of us have an umbrella inside, and if not, now is the opportunity and the chance. But what I like to do is I like to store the umbrella inside of a freezer bag. Not only does it keep it nice and contained, but also for what I'm about to show you next. So you're out in the rain, it's pouring, it's all wet, now you gotta go inside. Maybe you're going grocery shopping and you got this wet umbrella. You're like, what do I do with this thing? I don't wanna put this wet umbrella in my cart, it's taking up space, and I gotta get everything away from this wet umbrella so it doesn't make my cardboard boxes all soggy. Now there are some stores that do have umbrella bags, such as Target, which is amazing. Thank you if you never knew that. It's usually when you enter the door. So the next time it rains and you have your umbrella, grab one of those. But if you're in a store, because a lot of stores don't carry them, take your Ziploc bag and put your umbrella inside. And then you can put it in your purse, depending upon the size of your purse, and nothing else is gonna get wet. Before we move into number 10, are we friends on Instagram? If not, make sure that you follow me at Andrea Jean Cleaning, especially Instagram stories, because I will share limited time deals, behind the scenes, fun things that I do with my family, just a great way to connect. I will link that in the description box below and pin it in the comments section. Speaking of contamination, let's talk about number 10. Maybe this just happens to me, but often I'll go for a walk and I see garbage along the side of the road and I just feel inclined to pick it up, but I don't have anything with me. Like I didn't plan to go garbage picking on this glorious walk that I'm on. And this is a fun activity to do with your kids or your grandkids or nieces and nephews as well. So not only getting exercise, but you're loving up on the environment. Keep a freezer bag in your pocket or your little pouch that you're walking with. And anytime you see garbage or trash along the side of the road or sidewalk, just go ahead and pick it up. Now the freezer bag does double as a glove if you want to pick up any garbage, but I will say this: we can always wash our hands or use hand sanitizer when we're done picking up different things. And I don't know about you, I'm pretty confident that my cell phone has more bacteria on it, remote controls, door handles, public restrooms, than the tiny corner of a piece of garbage that I put in a bag. Because I know many of you are going to be like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe you touched the garbage. Now best case scenario, you just store a disposable glove inside of your Ziploc bag. That way you are ready to go, you are protected, you are feeling good, your hands are clean, you're saving the environment, because after all, we all have to live here. It just boggles my mind when people just throw garbage out the window along the side. Like, just why are we littering outside? Is it just me? It drives me insane. If you go to Target or Walmart, oftentimes you may get plastic bags if you did not end up bringing your own. I do like to reuse those, and this is a great way to reuse them. However, did you know that in 2024, I think 12 different states banned plastic bags, which I think is fantastic. So if you live in a state that you don't have plastic bags lying around, a Ziploc bag is a great alternative. Again, you can wash it out, you can sanitize it, you can dry it for the next time you go on a walk and you just want to help out the environment and make your neighborhood look a little bit nicer. If you haven't, make sure that you sign up for the free weekly newsletter, also linked in that description box below, and let's keep the fun going. Click this video on screen now, thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you, my friend, in the next one.